Anambra State government to partner with Nigeria Institute of Food Science and Technology to ensure food safety in Anambra State. Manufacturers of Ajinomoto umami seasoning debunk rumors that the product is not safe for consumption. NAFDAC suspends implementation of new tariffs. U.S. Supreme Court agrees to listen to DACA case over crisis. Good morning and welcome to Breakfast News this morning. I am David Opopasele. The Anambra State government says it will partner with the Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology, NIFT, and other relevant stakeholders in the food industry to ensure continuous food safety and security in the state. The State Commissioner for Agriculture, Production, Mechanization, Processing and Export, Mr. Anambra, made this known when executive members of NIFT paid him a courtesy visit in his office in Oka. Correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo is on hand with the rest of the story.
Commissioner who spoke through the permanent secretary in the ministry, Mrs. Stephanie Uzo, revealed to the people the eagerness of the present administration to synergizing any group who means well for the state, especially in agriculture-related issues, as agriculture remains one of its major pillars. He intimated the group with various achievements of the Obiano government in agro-production, processing, and export. Mr. Onukuba also commended the association for choosing Anambra as the venue for their forthcoming conference and annual general meeting, which has this theme as traditional food processing and export, and assured them of the full support of the ministry.
Happens to be the #1 pillar of His Excellency, so he does not play with issues involving with agriculture. He takes it very, very serious, and that was why he made it his #1 pillar to ensure that we have enough food, not just enough, to ensure our storage process, the processing, and also the value chain of the food.
Speaking earlier, the national president of the association, Mr. Toye Oluwole, who rated the state high in quality and nutritious food, called for passage of a bill that will bring about a food safety commission in the state, which he said will add value to the achievements already made by the state in food value chain. Mr. Oluwole said that NIFST, which according to him has already existed for 43 years with over 20,000 professional members, focuses on food safety and security as a way of contributing to nation building.
Food science and technology, apart from ensuring that we get wholesome, nutritious food on our tables, we also create wealth through various avenues, including ensuring that we're able to export our farm produce and our various processed food.
In a vote of thanks, the Dean, Faculty of Agriculture, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka, Professor Ernest Igwe, thanked the Commissioner for the warm reception accorded them during the visit and expressed hope that their partnership with the ministry would be of great benefit for both the state and the association.
Safety Commission. I have a monograph on food safety. We are praying, just like we have ANSIPA, they also have other commissions. We want to sponsor, as my president has said, a bill, an executive bill from the Ministry of Agriculture in partnership with Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology for a food safety commission. It might surprise you why we're choosing Anambra first.
From the State Ministry of Agriculture, Mechanization, Processing and Export in Oka, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
And from agriculture, we'll move now to drug, where the International Federation of Women Lawyers, FIDA, Anambra State has described drug abuse and illicit trafficking as malady that do no one any good. The vice chairperson of FIDA Anambra State branch, Barrister Ogogua Ochuba, said the global theme for the 2019 International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking, which was Health for Justice, Justice for Health, was timely considering the dangers the problem posed to the family and the society at large. The details. Oba, who was speaking when a feeder delegation came on a sensitization program to the ABS, said health and justice delivery for drug victims are very paramount. According to her, the victims should be well informed on the health implications of indulging in drugs so they will not go back to drugs when they are released.
You rehabilitate without looking at the health, then the person cannot survive. It is when you treat and then you rehabilitate and then you educate the person on the effect, a bad effect of drug abuse, and then you can say that you are doing something.
The head of Department, Commercial and Property Law, Anambra University, Oka, Professor Gugwai Beze, harped on the role of criminal justice administration for drug victims, especially the juveniles, when in conflict with the law. Professor Beze said they should not be lodged with hardened criminals, while their health should not be compromised to avoid coming out worse off.
Of course, if it involves youths or juveniles, they do not have to be tried in open court. They have to be tried privately to safeguard their future and psychology, and they do not have to be put, even when sentenced, in prison with adult prisoners. They have to be put in the Boston homes, and that place they will be rehabilitated. They will be trained either skillfully or formal education. By that, you can see that, one, the justice has taken place, and again, the person will come out healthier.
Other legal luminaries, including barristers Winifred Iwuamadi, Chinelo Egini, and Maria Anyabolo, stressed that everyone needs information about what constitutes drug abuse, but youths are critical because the impact is worse on them. They affirmed the readiness of FIDA to collaborate with other stakeholders such as the NDLEA, the police, and faith-based organizations to wage war against drug abuse and illicit trafficking for a healthier society. A bridge and bus stop worth over 7 million naira constructed by Umuokoba community in Aboj village, Oba, Idemili South Council area have been commissioned. The commissioning, which was performed by the member representing Idemili South constituency and the State House of Assembly, Honorable Choka Ezenwune, in collaboration with the regent of Oba, Chief Noel Ezenwa, attracted the indigents of the community both at home and in diaspora. Correspondent Mengina Osadebe completes the story.
In his remarks during the event, Honorable Ezenwune commended the community for their initiative and efforts towards achieving such feat, saying that communities should not wait for the government at all times to provide them developmental projects. He commended the people for enthroning peace in the community and urged them to sustain the temple.
Any kind of the spirit of communal effort. Depending on the right forefront of Nigeria, would give a commission. You go to the you buy the government came to you, but a government
Earlier in a sermon, the vicar of St. Stephen's Anglican Church, Umuokokpa, Reverend Canon Izu Obiekwe, applauded the caliber of youth who are the executive members of Umuokokpa Development Union, commending them for restoring peace in the land, which, according to him, is the bedrock of meaningful development. Reverend Canon Obiekwe harped on the need for them to work with the fear of God, for them to restore sanity among the youths, as well as pursue peace at all times for rapid development, while pledging the support of the church towards reviving the spiritual life of the community.
This function is not going to end here. We will give you and your leadership more spiritual mandate to help us make this community a comfortable place from the mud.
In his welcome address, the chairman, Umuokokpa Development Union, Comrade Ejike Madnagu, said the project, which took them over 6 months to accomplish, were realized through the collective efforts of the people, and expressed gratitude to God for restoring peace and harmony back to the community, and promised to attract more developmental projects to the community.
God that today peace has returned to the community, and only in an atmosphere of peace with development like this time we have just gone to commission manifest.
On their part, the royal father of the day and regent of Oba, Chief Noel Ezenwa, and the chairman on the occasion, Chief Ifeanyi Onpenata, who was represented by Chief Bennett Chibeze, commended the community for their foresight, which according to them will help alleviate the sufferings of the people, and called on other communities to borrow a leaf from Umuokokwa community. In their separate interviews, the community leader, Chief Orlando Ibakuzie, the chairman, Leaders of Thought, Mr. Godson Uzongosu, and the treasurer UDU, Honorable Ebele Ifabunike, recounted series of efforts made to ensure completion of the project, which they attributed to their reconciliation and peaceful coexistence in the community, promising to sustain the tempo. Speakers upon speakers elogize the efforts of the community and its executive members for the achievements. Cutting of tapes by the House member Honorable Ezemune and Regent Ezenwa formed the high point of the event, while musical interlude by live band added glamour to the event. Emengino Sadebe, ABS News.
West African Seasoning Company, makers of Ajinomoto, umami seasoning, and Madi's curry and fish flavors, have organized an interactive session with medical and scientific professional groups with the hope to dispel the negative perception and misconception that characterize their products in the Southeast market. The session, which was born out of low patronage by the people of the region, was held at Patterson Hall of All Saints Cathedral, Onitsha. Again, correspondent Emengini Osadebe has the report.
Various groups such as National Association of Resident Doctors, Anambra State Chapter, National Association of Nigerian Nurses, NAIT Chapter, National Food, Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, Standard Organization of Nigeria, SON, Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology, dietitians, among others, were at the event. In his opening presentation, the Managing Director, West African Seasoning Company, Mr. Nikki Junishi, said the products, which were known for its capability of enhancing food taste globally, have been in existence in Nigeria since 1991 and had gone clinical research, which approved it as safe for consumption, while highlighting on the rich presence of monosodium glutamate in the product.
Our activities are concentrated in the north until today. We guaranteed we will contribute to the society, and I believe that is required for us to do anything.
Dodo is a seasoning that gives you deliciousness, which also in Nigeria we call sweetness to our dishes, and also is economical. Ajinomoto can be used for many types. Is multi-variety.
Some of the participants that spoke to ABS said the session was an eye-opener to them, adding that it has helped in changing their mindset about the product and promised to take the message to their clients while suggesting for a branding of the products. Earlier, before the interactive section, the company paid a courtesy visit to the traditional ruler of Onitsha, Igwe Alfred Achebe, in his palace in Mobioka Road, where the corporate communication officer of the company, Mrs. Francisca Ikediashi, intimated the royal father on the need to use his influence in changing the negative perception the people of Southeast have about Ajinomoto brand, which according to her is safe for consumption, while emphasizing on the need for the brand to take its pride of place in the Southeast market.
I think the important thing is in any marketing situation is to know your markets, their interests, start your interests, and they can become your ambassadors on the ground.
Emengino Sarebe, ABS News.
The people of Eriato village, Ibako, in Ayamelum local government area have called for urgent intervention of the state government into the Agwoba land dispute between them and Omoali village, Omoali family of Akanato village or more of the same local government area. They made the call when they staged a peaceful protest at the government house, Oka, as a way of drawing government's attention to the matter. Correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo tells us more.
The protesters, who were mainly the aged and women, were seen carrying placards with inscriptions urging governments to wade in order to arrest threats of peace and security of lives and property. Speaking on behalf of the protesters, their leaders, Chiefs James Onyejeku and Michael Okechukwu expressed dissatisfaction over the actions of their neighbors, which according to them have cost the community members their farmlands and other valuables. They promised to maintain peace and order in the area by remaining law-abiding as they expect government's urgent intervention.
Law-abiding people. We are cause government embarrassment. No, maybe the current government in the government in Anambra Udo West. The government natural violence. So, Mandiba Tigoli so far. Manaya Choroka, Enwe Obagala. That I the government. I had to go before this year.
Addressing the protesters, the special advisor to the governor on security, safety, and emergency, Sachikode Anara, who described Governor Willie Obiano as peace-loving person, commended the people of Eriato village, Ebaako, for showing sense of maturity in the issue. Chief Anara assured them of government immediate intervention after consultation with other party involved.
According to that is what the way the governor chooses to run the state, and what he wants for the state. He wants peace and order for the state. That is what he preaches everywhere. That is what he does, everything to ensure that we have at all times in all parts of the state. So any group that supports peace, any group that eschews violence, by whatever means, the governor would like that. And that's why I commended them for being peaceful. That's number one.
From Government House in Oka, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo, reporting for ABS News.
You're watching Breakfast News on ABS Television. Still to come on the news, NAFDAC suspends implementation of new tariffs as U.S. Supreme Court agrees to listen to DACA case over current crisis. After the break, more stories will come your way.
ABS, Heartbeats of the East.
The Governing Council of the National Agency for Food, Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has said it has suspended implementation of the new tariffs which came into effect on 1st June 2019. The move, NAFDAC said, is to douse tension and assuage the yearnings of stakeholders in the pharmaceutical, food, and allied industries. According to a statement signed by the Director of Public Affairs, NAFDAC, Dr. Abubakar Ojimo, the decision was reached after a marathon stakeholders forum and meeting of the Governing Council. The board said that the decision was reached by the Governing Council of NAFDAC at a stakeholders meeting held recently in Lagos and was disclosed by the chairman of the council, Mr. Inuwa Abdul Kadir. The director revealed that after a marathon stakeholders forum and meeting of the Governing Council, it was resolved that all NAFDAC stakeholders affected by the new tariff will henceforth revert to payment of the old tariff until further notice. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has told a federal high court in Lagos that former Governor Ayodele Fayose of Ekiti, facing a 6.9 billion naira fraud before the court, was being investigated for other matters. Fayose was billed for rearrangement before Justice Aneke yesterday, but EFCC counsel Mr. S. Obafemi prayed the court to adjourn the case, saying that the commission was still investigating the defendant for other matters. According to the counsel, there are no clear directive from the commission on the steps to take. According to Obafemi, the main prosecutor, Mr. Rotimi Jacobs, senior advocate of Nigeria, was absent in court as a result of the situation. He urged the court to adjourn the case. Responding, Defense Counsel Messrs. Ola Olanipeku, senior advocate of Nigeria, and Ola Lekon Ojo opposed the request for adjournment. According to the defense, there must be an end to litigation as the charge cannot lie before the court in perpetuity. And now to the foreign scene, the U.S. Supreme Court has agreed to decide the fate of DACA, the federal program that has allowed 700,000 young people known as Dreamers to avoid deportation. The court will hear the case during its next term, which begins in October. A ruling in such a contentious case wouldn't be likely before early 2020, assuring that the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program will feature in the presidential campaign. DACA and DACA, an Obama-era initiative, allows children of illegal immigrants to remain in the United States if they were under 16 when their parents brought them to the country and if they arrived by 2007. The Trump administration moved to end the program in 2017, but federal courts blocked that attempt. Following a brief hiatus, the government began accepting renewal applications from DACA participants, which must be filed every 2 years. But the Trump administration then urged the Supreme Court to overturn the rulings that allowed DACA to continue. And then now on sports, we move to Egypt, where Mali has expelled striker Adama Neane from the squad for indiscipline, the third player to be toughed out by his team at the ongoing African Cup of Nations. The team's media officer Ibrahim Koulibaly said that Adama Neane was excluded from the Eagles group for non-respect. Reports say the 26-year-old Belgium-based player had slapped a teammate in an altercation over queuing. The decision came on the eve of their yesterday's Group E clash against Tunisia in Suez. Earlier, Burundi had sent home 32-year-old midfielder Selamani Ndikumana for ill discipline before their first game without offering any further details. On Wednesday, Egypt sent Amro Wada packing for what the Egypt Football Association described as disciplinary reasons. Wada, who plays for Greek club Atromitos on loan from PAOK, has been widely accused of trolling women on social media. He has been the subject of a previous complaint filed with Egypt's Attorney General of harassing a fashion model on Instagram. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio TV Television. Subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/ABS Radio TV Online. You can also follow us on Twitter at ABS Radio TV and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. Before we go, here are the main points again. Anambra State Government is to partner with Nigerian Institute of Food Science and Technology to ensure food safety in the state. Manufacturers of Ajinomoto umami seasoning have debunked rumors that the product is not safe for consumption. NAFDAC has suspended the implementation of the new tariffs, while we told you that U.S. Supreme Court has agreed to listen to DACA case over crisis. And that is the news at this time. I am David Okwasile. Weekend show continues right after now.